Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Lenox Justifier of Innocence, created by Zeus and Demeter to save humanity. I am here as Josephine today, which is Lenox in human form, and I'm also here with Mr. Buddy, the guard dog. You will also be seeing Olgaard as well as Amalia in today's episode. Before we get started, I did just want to say that I hope that you guys are having an amazing week. And I know that this weekend is Memorial Day weekend, is the kickoff of summer, the official kickoff of summer. So I just wanted to tell you guys that I hope you have an amazing time. You get to relax, enjoy the long weekend, but please remember to be careful. And I will see you back here after this weekend in one piece, right? So in today's episode, Josephine is going to be looking into a little bit more of Putintero's past with the help of Amalia, and I'm also going to be training with Olgaard on how to hone in on some new powers. Not so much new powers, but as my powers develop, I'm learning how to properly use them so that we don't have any mishaps along the way. So that's what's going to be covered in some of today's episode. So you want to make sure you stay tuned to the end. There's a lot of really good information and insight as to how the storyline is going to progress going forward. I also wanted to say that if you guys can remember, if you like what you see and what we're doing here, please remember to share our channel and get other people to subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, which is the magic number to be able to start ranking up in the YouTube world. So if you could help us out with that, that would be so much appreciated. Please let us know in the comments below if you'd like us to write anything specific for you guys. If not, we will continue with the storyline. As you know, some of these stories are written on the spot, and some of them will be going into the next books coming out. So currently right now I'm in the process of editing the second book, and that it was going to go into publishing very soon. So as soon as the editing is finished, it'll go into publishing. And now that I've been through the process once already, it's going to come out a lot faster. So I will keep you guys informed as to how that is progressing, and just get your feedback. I'm going to be asking you guys for feedback as to some of the artwork that I've created for the second book, and see what your thoughts are on what you think should make it in and what not. So just to keep you guys involved, I want this to be a joint adventure that we can be proud of and get it going together. So with that said, I am going to start this week's episode, and I hope that you enjoy the show. Amalia began to dig into Putintero's history, his current contacts, his allies, and even his fans. We are trying to figure out who else Hades could be grooming in order to replenish his supply of fallen mortals in the underworld. At first glance, it all seems random. Keep looking, there has to be a common element that ties it all together. I believe that there is. I just have to keep looking. I bet there's answers within the web of criminal activity we found during that big cat raid. You know, I think that you're right. There's definitely something to that. Amalia started throwing things in her backpack with haste.
Where are you
Something
going?
sparked. Don't worry, I'm not going to head to Mount Olympus or some other fabulous place without you. Just kidding. I'm heading to the FBI headquarters to see if they can arrange a meeting with Jaru.
That's a great idea. Let me know if you need my help. I'm going to be training with Olgaard. I'm trying to get some control over the powers that are emerging so I don't accidentally destroy stuff or people.
Well, you're doing great considering. I mean, I was dumbfounded when you split the earth and stuffed Putintero down there. That was insane.
Ugh, you just reminded me, I still have to pull him out of there. There's too many reports of the ground trembling near there. I need to come up with a way to keep him contained as I pull him out, though.
Let me think on that.
Okay, I'll do the same. Call me on your way back. Or if you need anything while you're there.
As Amalia headed to the FBI, Josephine made her way to Olgaard's.
I'm ready to train, Olgaard. Let's go.
Today's training is going to be a bit different. Remember in the beginning when you focused on meditation, allowing everything to float away so that you can focus on controlling their minds?
It's like second nature now.
Well, today we shall focus on expanding that. In order to defeat our new enemies, you must not only be able to control their thoughts, but you have to be able to anticipate their thought process. Have a better understanding of why they think the way they do and what they feel, so you can use it as your weapon against them. But it's tricky, for we must not allow their thoughts to consume or influence you, Josephine.
Well, I guess my stubbornness does come in handy. I have never been one to be easily influenced. I've always had it in me to think for myself. I've never been one to follow anyone.
I know this to be true, but in today's lesson, you will need to loosen your grip on reality, to disassociate yourself so that you can understand the why. Once we understand, we can change it.
Okay, but when I spoke with Zeus and Demeter, they explained about Hades and Putantero's history. I do know why they are doing this.
Yes, we know why they are doing this, but we have yet to know why this particular group of humans is going along with them. You see, in my recent research, I have found that not all of them are evil, though their acts are. They themselves truly don't believe this to be the case. They believe they are acting in the right.
Just to clarify, you want me to, in a way, erase my own thoughts, convictions, morals, and understanding so I can fully submerge myself in their minds, but not to control it, to study it, so we can have a full understanding of it. I see, because they don't believe that they are doing anything wrong. They believe they are doing noble acts. So my empathy powers cannot get them to relive their evil, since in their hearts and their minds they feel they're doing good, when in fact it's very sinister and harmful.
Yes, you got it. That's exactly right.
This is going to be a tough one, but I can handle it. I'm always up for a challenge.
Olgaard handed Josephine a cup of herbal tea.
Drink this. I made it from the fresh herbs in my garden. It's going to help you relax and get into the meditative state.
Josephine drank the tea as she walked through Olgaard's land, reaching that magical part of the forest where the water fountain she first encountered Demeter is. She sat down in the middle of the field, native style, slowly sipping and taking deep breaths. Every sound was magnified. Mr. Buddy came over to assure her that if she needed anything, he would just be over on the side by the tree waiting for her. As she sat, the sounds were magnified even more, growing louder, the birds singing, the leaves rustling. The breeze was slightly blowing her hair like the branches on the tree.
The sounds of the water was trickling. You could hear the sound of her breath in her ears, her heartbeat. When all went quiet, not a sound could be heard. She was entering the minds of the humans. Suddenly, all she could hear was noise. Her mind clouded with anger, fears, anxiety, and confusion. The thoughts of this group was defeating. Betrayal, rejection, social injustice, and manipulation. Toxic chemicals in the food and water seeping into their brains and organs, only to be compounded by more toxic chemicals in the form of medicine, further depleting their brains, causing morbid thoughts and diminishing their capacity to think clearly. They are being ruled by emotions, not rational thoughts. It's warping their reality, making them susceptible to mental disease, dysmorphia, paranoia, bipolar, ADHD, panic disorder, and depression. Their mind has been weakened, and in their confusion, they have been manipulated, groomed, unaware, controlled, open to suggestion. Josephine began to sweat. Feeling was horrid. These people have fallen victim to prey, but they are unaware, and in turn they are victimizing others under the false perception of social justice. They are committing genocide on women and children. Josephine's breathing became more rapid, her heart pounding. It hurt her eardrums, it was so loud. Suddenly it felt like 2 elephants were sitting on her chest. She couldn't breathe under the weight, gasping for air in a confused state. Mr. Buddy couldn't watch anymore. He began to lick her face, bringing her back to reality. She coughed and wheezed and took a deep breath and looked up. "Thank you, Mr. Buddy. I needed you. You always come through. Let's go back and talk to Olgaard."
That was intense.
I can only imagine. What did you learn?
These people, they're not the enemy. They're also victims. They're being exploited to carry out these evil atrocities without them even realizing the detriment it's going to have on society and humanity.
How do you propose we proceed?
Amalia is meeting with Jaru. We believe that he knows more and can lead us as to who's behind this movement. With Putantero locked in the core of the earth, we know it's not him.
No, perhaps it is not. But you may have to consider bargaining with Putantero in exchange for his release. Just attach some conditions to it.
At the thought of this, Josephine converted into Lenox. There was a blinding glow around her. I will never align myself with evil for any reason.
I understand how you feel, but sometimes for the greater good. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, unquote.
Not for me, it isn't. I'll find another way. So that is going to conclude today's episode. This is the third part of the absolving of women and children. Now, I know at times the words and the message that we are portraying can be a little bit cryptic. And that is because I have to get really creative as to how I word things and how I communicate it so that I don't violate any of the community guidelines and the rules under YouTube. So hopefully you guys appreciate the different way that I'm verbalizing everything for you. and can still have an understanding as to what the subject matter is and what message we're trying to portray and in the storyline. So with that, I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm not going to say with that said, because I put this little thing on, just side note, I just put this little thing on my Facebook, and I put on there what phrases drive you crazy. And I went with, I started with 2, but there's really 3 phrases of mine that drive me crazy when I hear people say it. And that is my truth, no such thing. There's the truth. Whenever I hear somebody say that, I think like they're lying. Secondly is to be honest. I don't like when people say that, because to me it infers that if you don't say that, everything that you say is a lie. And I can't remember what the third one is off the top of my head right now, but I noticed that a few of the participants said that one of the things they hate is, one of the phrases that they hate is, with that said. So I realize I say that quite a bit. So as a transition, so I'm not going to say that anymore. Just giving you a little, side note on that. But I wanted to just say that I hope you guys have an amazing weekend and are enjoying the content. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Share it with all your friends. Help us out. And we will see you next week. God bless.